NF's use of black balloons in each of his videos is beginning to look like a poorly executed concept. What you have to know about those black balloons is NF says they represent the burdens that he carries around in his life. If you look at him in the search video, he actually points to them while singing, grabbing my keepsakes, leaving my burdens. Well, I brought a few with me. I'm not perfect. It's like he actually holds on to his burdens, and you can notice that he does this to sell records. Album after album is the same story and people are resonating with it. That's why he's partially successful, or should I say successful to a great extent. So he actually likes those problems commercial wise. Anyway, why I'm saying it's a poorly executed concept is because these are balloons, they're light, they're actually trying to float away. So in the search, when he actually ties them down to the cart and pushes them along, it makes sense because he did say he brought a few with them. Now, when you see him in Paid My Dues, he's using the balloons as barbells in the gym. Now, the issue with barbells is they're supposed to be heavy and actually weigh you down, but he's got the balloons tied there. The balloons are actually trying to float away, so that concept doesn't come out well. It's a symptom of something that's being overdone and now needs to be stopped. Let me know in the comments below if you think NF should continue with this whole balloons thing. I think it's now old and they should actually, drop that concept. Anyway, for those who don't know why NF is always talking about burdens and shows the balloons and every video of his is in black and whatnot, let me give you a bit of a background into NF's history. Anyway, Nathan Fierstein's rage emanates from the festering wounds of a broken home. His parents divorced when he was young and his mom struggled with opioid addiction. As a kid, NF didn't understand why mom missed events, even his graduation. One of her boyfriends physically abused him and delighted in striking terror in his two sisters. In high school, NF cut all communication with her because he felt strange and uncomfortable when the court ordered a social worker to monitor his conversations with her. When he was 18, he received a heart-rending call. His grandmother said mom had overdosed. His soul-wrenching dirge, "Why would you leave us?" was born of that personal apocalypse. It is a bone-chilling confessional that leaves no skeleton in the closet. Its unfiltered pathos is making people cry across the nation. That last sentence confirming exactly why NF won't leave this issue of his burdens behind, because it's actually selling him records. He doesn't have another concept. So let me know what you think about the balloons. Is he overdoing them? Are the barbells a symptom of the fact that he's running out of ideas as far as these balloons are concerned, and he should actually move on to the next concept? Idea why NF has got a scene in his latest video, Pay My Dues, where it looks like he's in Dexter's Kill Room. For those who watched the series Dexter, he had a kill room made of plastic, or where he used a lot of plastics to help conceal evidence of his murderous activities. NF has got this as well. Is this a warning to the critics that he's going to Dexter them? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, because when he's actually showing that scene, the lyrics do not relate to that. They don't give an indication that that's what he's talking about. So let me know what you think about that. I've got no idea why he's got that Dexter room, but it looks like it's a warning to the critics that, if you keep going after me, I'm gonna do something very nasty to you. One thing that I like about this video is how he cleverly references a pendulum when he swings back and forth as he raps tick, tick, tick. That's the sound before my head explodes. The tick, tick, tick sound is probably the sound of a clock as it counts down to the explosion of a bomb, and it's really befitting that he's swinging around like the pendulum on the clock as he flows like that. That's pretty clever. I also like how NF summarizes his inner conflict issues in one defining shot. A common theme in NF's music is inner conflict, which is usually demonstrated by personifying emotions to evaluate his feelings. In the Paid My Dues music video, you see multiple versions of NF in a single shot. These versions have actually been shown video after video, album after album from the past. When he actually sings, it's confusing, so amusing how I argue with myself. Hello, you actually then see these different types of NF personalities in one shot. Moving from left to right, The first Nate represents the 2017 Perception era with his hoodie and hat from the back cover of the album. The second Nate represents 2015's Mansion with his Timberland boots that were introduced in the music video of Notepad. On the Floor is the current version of Nate from The Search, this song being the first single since its release. The main detail is the balloons that he holds, which were introduced in Why and used heavily throughout the album in the music videos for The Search, Leave Me Alone, and When I Grow Up. The final NF on the right represents 2012's I'm Free, clearly represented by the white button-up shirt and black tie and vest, which was also referenced in his 2018 single No Name. When he actually says, I used to walk on stage in a v-neck, I used to wear a little tie with the black vest. Okay, a notable example of NF arguing with himself is in Intro 3, the opening track of his breakthrough 2017 album Perception, in which NF battles with his fear throughout the entirety of the song. So I like how he brought out his whole history and his issues of inner conflict in one video. Yes, I said that I don't like how he's bringing this concept over and over again because it's getting tired, but you have to give props when it's due. In this shot, he got it right. What do you think? Let me know. Next, I'm gonna talk about the botched floating scene. Yes, the botched floating scene where he actually didn't float as nice. Like I said, the floating scene was botched for two reasons. First of all, you can see that he's suspended on wires, and second of all, he's not very good an actor. The way he's so tense, you can tell that something is causing him some sort of discomfort. He's afraid to fall. I don't know what it is, but his acting is not very good. He actually puts too much effort such that you then don't really believe that this guy has got issues because he's putting too much effort in bringing out that emotion, and I don't like that. Anyway, to the floating scene, when he's floating high up above the couch, first of all, let your neck loose, NF, so that it seems like gravity is actually taking its toll on you. The legs are straight, which is fine, but now as they drop him, whoever was controlling that system did not drop the wires in the proper way, because just before he lands on the couch, you can already see that his legs are now higher up than his body. That curve on his legs shows that somebody is lowering him down the wrong way. It's not in sync. That's actually a poorly executed scene. And if you look at his face just before his body touches the sofa, he's sort of like cringing or wincing. Either it's the cables that are giving him issues, or he's afraid, or he's not steady. Something is just wrong. So the whole way that they lowered him down and the wincing is pretty botched. Let me know what you think about that. I think it could have been executed better with more takes. The director there did a pretty bad job. Now I'm moving on to the issue why we have NF in black, or why actually NF is singing about Paid My Dues. He says the critics have been very bad towards him. I don't think so, and let me explain why. NF is always complaining about bad reviews from critics. That's what critics do. We talk about you and what you do. I appreciate the fact that you've got a good strategy going on where you're like a gospel gangster rapper, but at the same time you don't use the profanity and all that. I was actually surprised when I looked at his lyrics and I didn't see any misogyny, any profanity, any disrespectful type of lyrics. Yeah, you've got that going for you, and that's probably why you're actually successful. But to be honest with you, NF, you benefit from heritage. You've got a market, okay? It's a white America and you're a white rapper, so automatically you've got a chance because you're the white people's own rapper, just like Eminem. Eminem might have sold the best, but he's not actually the best rapper there is, but he's a person doing quite well in a market that's ready to receive him because the majority of the market is white. I'm actually going to touch on that and tell you about white boy rappers who are actually better than Eminem at rapping and producing hip-hop songs. Eminem was just, a combination of factors, not necessarily being the best at rapping. And you have to know, NF, that besides your strategy being good, of being a good gospel rapper, gospel gangster rapper, and the whole story you've got of your issues, you're not actually very good at rapping, and your rap songs are actually not that good. You also do sound like Eminem, act like Eminem, look like Eminem, so you're not very original. So please stop whining and just let those dollars flow in. I'm seeing the complaint here on his first verse where he goes like, quick, 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 critics come, it's time to go. I read your article, it kind of hurt me. I don't know who hired you or what your friends say in your circle, but the fact that you released it tells me two things are for certain. They get paid for trashing people. I get paid because I stay working. Drop the search and they emerge out of nowhere to the surface, just to peek behind the curtain, throwing salt at all my burdens. I like also the strategy where you play on people's feelings and you actually take those comments in and say that they hurt you. It really probably resonates with a lot of people who are hurt in society, and this makes you more successful because most rappers who are gangster are actually just going to throw it right back at the critics. You see, for example, Rick Ross, where he says something like, write that on your blog, dog, etc, etc, one day we gon' meet, I'ma spaz on you, etc, etc. You're doing the opposite of actually, showing that you've got feelings. So let me tell you what, the critics are right about you. You're not very good. Let me actually just read this extract about the critics. NF has received more recognition from music portals after the release of his fourth studio album, The Search, released on 26 July 2019. The album hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, beating out Chance the Rapper and his fourth project, The Big Day, leading many popular music outlets to write about the project. Yes, we are surprised why you're on number 1. Like I said, you've got a good strategy and you're benefiting from heritage, but as a rapper, you're not very good. Despite the success of The Search, reviewers from the music media powerhouses like Pitchfork and the New York Times criticized more or less harshly the album's content of struggles with mental health, trust issues, and his difficult deal with fame. Even Rolling Stones shared their negative review of this bad album. So they're mostly concentrating on your issues in your life. I'm just concentrating on the quality of delivery. It's nothing special, nothing to talk about. So NF, please stop whining and please move to a new concept. Let me know in the comments below, is NF's struggles with his mental issues becoming too much of a theme? Can he not sing something else before he actually starts losing relevance? I'll see you in the next reaction, but basically this is what I think of NF's latest video. Paid my dues. Subscribe to the channel, comment below, like the video, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next reaction as the critic.